One of the most fundamental abilities that drives human success is the ability to understand and control your emotional reactivity. It affects how we communicate, how we handle conflict, how we make decisions, even how people treat us. But instead of just talking about emotional control, let me show you how it actually works through a story. Meet Jordan, a young professional presenting to a room full of executives for the first time. He prepared for weeks, slides perfect, words memorized. But halfway through the presentation, an executive interrupts sharply. "Why didn't you include last quarter's data? This is incomplete." The room turns. Jordan's heart drops. His face heats up. His mind screams, "You're failing." This was the moment. A moment when emotional reactivity could destroy everything. Jordan's instinct to panic, to defend himself, to shut down. But instead, he pauses, literally 3 seconds. He inhales slowly, grounds himself, and says, "Thank you for pointing that out. I can explain the reasoning behind that choice, and if needed, I'll happily add the data after the meeting." The room relaxes. The executive nods. Jordan continues and ends up receiving praise for being calm under pressure. After the meeting, a colleague tells him, "I would have had a meltdown. How did you stay so composed?" Jordan smiles, because the truth is, he wasn't calm inside. He just knew how to manage the storm. So to explain this, we see that moment didn't go well because Jordan felt nothing. It went well because he understood his emotions and controlled their impact. Now the question becomes, why are some people naturally good at this while others crumble under pressure? Let's dive deeper. Why some people are better at emotional control. Psychology reveals 3 major factors behind emotional regulation. Early environment. Children raised in calm, predictable households often develop stronger emotional regulation. They grow up watching adults, pause before reacting, express emotions clearly, resolve conflicts respectfully. These behaviors become internal templates. Meanwhile, children raised in chaotic, unpredictable, or emotionally intense environments learn something different. That emotions explode, that feelings equals danger, that reactions must be immediate. So as adults, they struggle more with staying grounded. Personal temperament. Some people are naturally more reactive. Their bodies fire up faster, stay activated longer, and feel emotions more intensely. This isn't a flaw. It's biology. But it means they have to work harder to regulate compared to people with calmer nervous systems. 3. Emotional practice. Like any skill, emotional control improves with practice. Some people have spent years reflecting on their feelings, journaling, meditating, learning communication skills. Others have never paused long enough to notice their triggers, not because they don't want to, but because no one ever taught them how. We also need to understand this, why some situations make people more vulnerable. Even the most regulated people lose control sometimes. This is because certain situations intensify emotional vulnerability. 1. Stress and overload. When you're exhausted, overwhelmed, or overstimulated, the prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain that regulates emotions, runs on low battery. This makes emotional outbursts far more likely. 2. Feeling threatened. Psychology says emotional reactivity spikes when we feel embarrassed, criticized, ignored, disrespected, uncertain about our worth. These situations trigger the brain's danger systems. 3. Past trauma or unresolved experiences. Old wounds create sensitive emotional triggers. A simple comment can feel like an attack because the brain connects it to past pain. 4. Feeling powerless. People often react intensely when they can't control the outcome. They feel unheard. Someone has authority over them. When people lack external control, they overuse emotional control. In the case of Jordan's story, Jordan managed the meeting moment not because he was born calm, but because he learned to navigate his own emotional waves. This shows something important. Emotional regulation is learned, not luck. Psychology recommends some very powerful ways to apply when regulating your own emotions. These come step by step as follows. 1. Label the emotion. Saying, "I feel anxious" or "I feel embarrassed" calms the emotional system almost instantly. 2. Pause before reacting. A 3-second pause can prevent a 3-week conflict. 3. Normalize your feelings. Remind yourself, it's okay to feel this. It's not dangerous. 4. Reframe the moment. Instead of "this is an attack," try "this is feedback" or "this is discomfort, not danger." 5. Build emotional tolerance. Meditation, journaling, therapy, and difficult conversations strengthen emotional muscles over time. So here's what psychology says about emotional intelligence. The ability to control your reactivity is one of the strongest predictors of life success. It determines the quality of your relationships, your decisions, and your reputation. But emotional control is not something you're born with. It's something you can build. And when you learn to understand your emotions instead of fearing them, you stop being controlled by life and start controlling the life you want to create.